There's no doubt that Disney is a massive company, and there are also many people who watch Disney products that they really want to reimagine and recreate the characters that they love, and they definitely want to pass it on for many generations. But unfortunately, with this generation now, there isn't really anything that many people can look up to Disney, and every single time when you hear any news about Disney, it's just more and more failures are just keeping on happening. There's been many failures happening at Disney this month. I'm sure many of you may have heard from last week that Disney lost about 4 million subscribers in 3 months, which kind of just shows the bleak decline for the company. And more recently, there's been more decline. And the first thing I want to talk about is one of their new products and their new movies that had early test screenings, and that is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And yeah, for no one's surprise, I don't think anyone really expected Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny to really do well. I don't really think for many people's expectations that they really ever wanted another Indiana Jones movie and want to see another old version of Harrison Ford with his already sort of energetic punching mode, sort of adventurer, really, to think that that is something that we really need nowadays. And I think that's kind of some of the misfirings that really Lucasfilms has really been going through. I think certainly under the leadership of Kathleen Kennedy, it's been really just been a real continuous failure. I've already kind of mentioned about how I felt about the third season of The Mandalorian, and it was just one of the most pointless, soulless, boring, unpurposeful TV show I've ever seen, and it pretty much set the bar pretty low, not just for the Star Wars but also for Lucasfilms. And now with this new installment, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, already it's not been well received very well, and it also doesn't help for the fact that this was also a movie that has a $300 million budget. So this movie pretty much sits more expensive than any of the other Star Wars sequel trilogies that happened as well. So it's really looking pretty bad from Lucasfilms, and it's certainly it's not looking good for the future for Disney as well in terms of some of their big acquisitions they have bought. So you might be thinking that with Disney losing 4 million subscribers in 3 months, they must be thinking of doing some sort of cost-cutting measures. Well, your assumption is right, because very recently Disney will be removing 50 plus shows of their Disney Plus and Hulu services. And one of the main shows that really just came out recently, just at the end of last year, is Willow. Now, I've never watched Willow or really even know about it, even the old movie as well as this recent TV show. I never watched it, but many people have really criticized it as the fact that really this was a TV show that really tried to push identity politics like crazy, and I assume that pretty much because of that, really the show didn't do well and it just tanked massively and nobody really cared for it. So now basically Disney are just set out to remove it. And you're probably thinking, why would they remove TV shows off their platform? They already own the IP. Why would they do that? Well, if you really think about it carefully, if they remove shows, then they don't make profit off those products anymore. And basically, when they do remove it, it's basically a way that they could really file a tax return to sort of get money back. They're still gonna make losses of those products and shows that they release, but it's a way just they could just sort of make money back. So basically, they don't have to profit off that sort of content anymore. And it's pretty sad that this is the sort of thing that they have to do to try and sort of remove shows and basically make them not exist anymore. Because I mean, I know for many people didn't really like Willow. I'm sure there are people that may like it. And now, because streaming services can now just sort of do that of a snap of a finger for a business decision just to remove content, I think it's pretty scary, really, that we don't really even see content like that anymore. I think even for TV shows or movies that are even not good, I still don't think that you should really remove content. I think really content should really stay and actually, give some sort of aspects of content that maybe people might like. I mean, so it's a very, very abrasive decision for Disney to do that. But to be honest with you, it doesn't surprise me that this had to happen, because all of that identity politics that they've been trying to push for a lot of their shows is now costing them a lot of money. And I think for TV shows like Willow, I think that was one big example of that. And finally, the last piece of embarrassment to Disney's cost-cutting measures is that Disney will be closing down their Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel. Now, this is easily one of the most laughable ideas I've ever seen. I mean, first of all, when you look at this idea and concept, it just screams out just garbage. First of all, I don't understand why people want to stay in a hotel with a Star Wars theme. I don't really think many people who really travel on holiday wants to go into a sort of a child's fantasy dream or anyone's nostalgic dream of a film or something to be in a hotel room. And also when you look at the rooms, it really is just like prison. It's just claustrophobic. There's no light. There's just one bed, and then there are these two pathetically small-sized pods for your little children. You know, good luck trying to find your grown child that would not be around well over 5 foot tall because those pods look very small. So it really looks awful from design aspects, but also for its price as well, which is around $2,400 a night, it's even more insulting. You pretty much would have better chances of finding a good resort to pay, and you would get luxury. This is not luxury. But anyways, this is like one of the most final pieces of embarrassments that Disney have. It's the whole idea just doesn't look good. And I think really this just shows that Disney are not responsible with how they use their money effectively, and now they're just, you know, fumbling around with so much of things to cut costs and trying to sort of recoup some money back for really just big failures. There's no doubt that probably in the last probably maybe few years, ever since Disney made big acquisitions like Marvel, Star Wars, and all those big corporations, that Disney are failing, and it's pretty sad to see. But for many people, they're not surprised, and maybe for some, they just think they deserve it. But anyways, that's about it for this video. See you later.